Amid rising tensions in Russia between the Kremlin and the allies of main opposition leader Alexei Navalny, tens of thousands have taken to the streets calling for the release of the Kremlin critic. In one of the largest displays of public opposition seen by the Kremlin in years, over 5,000 were arrested amid violent scenes. Our Choi Jeong-yoon has more.
Demanding the release of Kremlin's jailed opposition leader Alexei Navalny, tens of thousands of Russians came out to protest across the country for a second weekend in a row.
I came to the rally for the first time. I am tired of the despotism and lawlessness of the authorities. No questions have been answered. I want clarity, transparency, and change. This is what made me come here.
According to a monitoring group, more than 5,000 were detained in at least 85 cities across Russia. Among them was Alexei Navalny's wife, who was released after several hours pending a court hearing Monday on charges of taking part in an unsanctioned protest. It has been the most widespread show of discontent that Russia has experienced in years, and the massive protests have also turned violent. In temperatures below -50 degrees Celsius, hundreds of riot police were deployed and were seen using batons and electric tasers against protesters. In Moscow, authorities introduced unprecedented security measures, closing subway stations near the Kremlin, cutting bus traffic, and ordering restaurants and stores to stay closed. People were stopped miles from the protest, with police checking their documents and asking what they were doing.
I want the country to be free. I want it to be pleasant to live here. I came here today, but today the square is completely blocked. It is impossible to get there and it's empty at the moment.
Though Navalny supporters called the protests off on Sunday afternoon, it said the next stop for demonstrations would be at Simonovsky Court on Tuesday, when Navalny is set to face a court hearing that could send him to prison for years. The 44-year-old was arrested for alleged fraud upon his arrival from Germany 2 weeks ago, where he spent 5 months recovering from nerve agent poisoning that he blames on the Kremlin. Russian authorities have rejected the accusations. Choi Jeong-yoon, Arirang News.